Arrow showrunner has dropped the biggest hint so far that DC Comics character The Question may be seen in future live-action projects. Mark Guggenheim had previously suggested that he was going to introduce the Vigilante to the show, but there's been no sign of the faceless hero in the Arrowverse so far. When interviewed at a convention, he explained why this was the case, and also shared an enticing observation as to the future of The Question, which may exist in the two in some form or another. The Question was originally created by legendary comic writer/artist Steve Ditko, appearing in Charlton Comics in 1967, before being acquired by DC Comics in the early 1980s and becoming part of the DC Universe. There have been several incarnations, but the most popular was the run written by Dennis O'Neil and drawn by Dennis Cowan. Here the character has the alter ego of Vic Sage, a hardcore investigative reporter with a need to fight corruption in the crime-stricken metropolis of Hub City. His face is hidden by a substance called pseudoderm, and he relies on martial arts to protect himself. The character has evolved at certain points, but the issue of morality and a Zen-like philosophy remains a core part of his makeup, with the darker aspects resembling Watchmen's Rorschach on a visual and ethical level. Guggenheim seemingly hinted at his addition to the Arrowverse in 2016, and has often announced his fondness for Vic Sage. But when he spoke to Discussing Film at the Ace Comic Con about his plans for the character and his absence from the Arrowverse, his reply dashed any hopes of seeing him in one of the shows. "I always bring him up. I always feel like that character would be a great fit with the tone of Arrow. Again, it's not our characters, it's DC's characters, and they've got other plans for The Question. I don't know what their plans are, but clearly they do have plans, otherwise we'd be using him." It's an interesting response and could point to a number of ways that Vic Sage may be seen in the future. He has already appeared in animated form in Justice League Unlimited, but this embargo from the Arrowverse could indicate that he's being kept back to appear in other DC TV shows like Titans or Gotham, or a currently unannounced project. An appearance in a future DC film like Cyborg or The Batman could be on the cards, but as with the recent announcement regarding Deathstroke's exit from Arrow, there must be an underlying reason for it. Hub City itself has been established in the Arrowverse in both Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. It's where Ray Palmer and Kendra Saunders lived as a couple in the 1950s for 2 years before returning to the Wave Rider. As previously stated by Guggenheim, The Question would easily fit alongside the likes of Team Arrow. But if DC has bigger plans for Vic Sage, it will be great to see the charismatic crime fighter interact with established heroes on the big or small screen. We can only wait for further announcements in the meantime. Arrow returns January 18th with Divided on the CW. Source: Discussing